Diddle-a-dum-dum, British Strongman podcast. So today, Shane, we're going to talk about Britain's Strongest Man under 80 kilos 2021. It's going to be hosted on the 12th of June in collaboration with Lean Body Strength Club and Chaos Strength Gym. So since the idea that Luke and I just randomly put together one day, we were kind of frustrated that the weight classes are kind of underrepresented in this country in terms of top competitions and stuff, especially under 80. Supposedly it's been poorly represented the last few years. Like I haven't noticed much like prestigious things in terms of England or whatever. I know there was like maybe an England Strongest Man like last year or the year before or whatever, but
that's all there's ever been. There's never really been anything, to be honest. There's been an England's most years, and the odd year somebody puts the Britons on as well. But for the most part, it's the England's that's run at I think it's PTS Northampton usually do it.
Right, okay.
But that's the but again it doesn't get, I don't know why, but it doesn't get much interest or advertisement, and you get like 8 entries or something. So under 80 class definitely needs a boost.
Well, this is the theory. Like this is the I had in my head that I've got the solution to the problem, and instead of being one of these kind of bitches that say that they could do stuff better or whatever, I just thought, fuck it, let's do it. So the problem that I see is the fact that the way that the comps are run, it wouldn't seem that that there's enough prestige to attract like the top lifters or the top guys like to like make an effort to make weight for, to do a bit of a comp prep for, to kind of win this title that there's not many of the other top guys doing. And there's that like some of the comps I've heard haven't been run brilliantly. I may be speaking out of turn here, but I'm just like kind of repeating what I've heard or whatever.
I've fucking done them. They're shite. That's all it is. They're shite. And also, they just don't respect the class. It fucks me off. I can rant on this all day. It pissed me right off. I dieted to that under 80 comp once, and I was training for a log record. The only thing I cared about was log and deadlift record. And I turned up on the day, and then they were like, "Oh, it's we're just going to use this 8-inch log." I was like, "No, that's not how it works. I fucking trained a 12-inch IFSA spec log for 9 weeks. You can't just stick an 8-inch log in on the last minute." And it's just stuff like that. They're just it's disrespectful to the athletes, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And that's why people don't enter them anymore, because the under 80 class is the people that have been handling it haven't really, I don't think they venture outside of that realm much. And maybe it's because they've got mates that are under 80. That's the only reason why they run it. Whereas if you want to go, like in America, it's a really big class in America, to be honest. I look at the Arnold they run. It's they get people from all over the world coming to the Arnold under 80. It's a decent weight class. It's awesome.
Yeah. So that's what we recognised, and we thought, you know what, we can make it better. And I thought, how are we going to make it more prestigious? How can we get the top athletes there? And how can we make it better for those top athletes? So one of the barriers is one of the things to get the best athletes there. I just thought money is gonna motivate top people to get there, and not money in terms of like they're not going to be absolutely loaded, but if we can cover people's expenses and even like so much as like cover the flights to support them to go to Worlds or whatever, like we just thought that'd be amazing. So we came up with the idea of me and Luke were happy to like take a loss on the comp. We're not doing it to kind of make money as such. Like if we want to make money from running running a show, we can run like novice comps and fill the classes and do loads of head-to-head and have loads of athletes competing on the same day. Whereas like we're genuinely not bothered about that. And I feel like that's where some of the promoters, to be fair to them, have it difficult. Like they do need to make a little bit of, they do need to make money out of it. And that's kind of what they're struggling with, I suppose, it seems. Whereas that's an advantage of what we've got. We're not asked about making money at all. We're happy to put like invest in the sport, if you will. So that's when we came up with the idea and have just thought, right, fuck it, we'll put half the entry fees back to the athletes. So like people we've been messaging about it to try and do the comp initially, we were like saying, look, all we need to do is cover the t-shirts and the trophies ideally, and we're going to go half of entry fee directly into prize money, and then obviously since people have recognised that we're actually doing it to develop the sport and give to the kind of support the elite athletes that are moving on to like worlds and stuff, like people like yourself, Shane, have obviously been inspired a bit by it and thought, fucking hell, this is great. And Shane has come forward and actually said to us, you know what, I think it's so good what you're doing that if you get, what did you say initially? If you get 10 entries doing it, I'll give you 300 quid for the prize pot. So Shane's our main sponsor in terms of the money side, which is great. Whereas I was, I suppose.
Well, I said I'd do 500 if you got 20, and then like five minutes later, you were like, "I've got 20 now." I was like, "Oh, right."
Yeah, well, that's it. When we had like, what do we have, like 16 or something? You said, "Oh, if we get, I'll give you 500 if you can get 500 quid if you can get 20." So it's brilliant for me and Luke, because we're like actively chasing people up, because if we put a bit of time in ourselves and a bit of graft in, like promoting it to people individually, like we're getting a big return on that for the athletes via sponsor, which is fantastic. So now, Shane, I've got 32 entries as of this morning.
Fucking hell.
So
where's this comp being run at? Is this comp run at Chaos or at yours?
So we're going to have it at Chaos we were originally going to have it as a 2-day event, but we thought coming out of lockdown or whatever, it'd be a lower barrier for people to just commit to one day. So we plan to do it as an AM and PM. So basically 4 events at Chaos in the morning, and then in the evening / afternoon, 4 events at mine.
All right, okay.
Where initially it was going to be the top 8 go through, and go to like a final where the scores are reset and stuff, like they are at official.
Yeah, that's cool. Like,
and then they go into the four events at mine that are set up. But now we're gonna extend that to 10. So top 10 go through. So it'll be like I suppose official Strongman games in terms of the final day. We'll have 10 people battling it out. So just before, just talking about the money things, I want to just mention a couple of other sponsors that have been absolutely brilliant. So obviously Shane's come forward and given us the 500 quid for the prize money. We've got 32 entries, and I'm going to close it off today. So this is like a kind of final call for people who want to enter, and then I'm going to close the entry until I'm going to open it again for a day on May the 1st for final opportunity to sign up, potentially once we've sorted logistics. So from May the 1st, you'll have 6 weeks prep if we can cater for you. But if you definitely want to place, I'd say you've got to get in and message me or Luke today and send over the money. So 30. So in terms of entry fees, putting directly back into it. So we've got 1,280 in entry fees. So we're putting 640 quid into the prize pot. Shane's given us 500 quid, so that's 1140 into the prize pot. We have got Alec Pagan from RPE11. Sorry if I pronounced his name wrong. Who has offered us $100 prize money, so that takes it up to what, 12 nearly 1300. And he has offered merchandise for all three on podium, and also he's offered us $50 for every record broken. So we'll get into the events in a bit. But basically we're going to have max deadlift, where the deadlift record is going to be attempted by at least 3, maybe 5 guys.
What is the record at the moment? Is it 335, 340?
Is it 325, I think?
325.
Yeah, 325, I think.
Mark.
Tom Mannion.
Tom Mannion.
It's
I was just thinking. No, because I thought the Irish fella had it.
Yeah, well, he is Irish, but Mark Burke had it, didn't he, for a little bit? And I think Tom.
I thought Mark Burke. Oh, okay, fair enough.
I think Tom Mannion's beaten it most recently. So, but anyway, so and also we're going to have for the people who get to the final 10, they're going to have an opportunity to go for the dumbbell world record. So that's another opportunity, and then we're going to have the Atlas Stone world record, which we're going to finish on either, at a stone series, or we're contemplating changing it to last man standing max Atlas Stone.
Lovely.
But either way, we found out the record is 161 to 48 inches. So probably going to get a stone made, maybe 162, to give him the opportunity to go for it, because
this is a British record still.
World record.
Oh, world record. Oh, okay.
So again, I know a few guys who are capable of that, who can do that. One of them's Matt Worley. If you follow him on my Instagram, Shane, he did 160 at like legit 80 kilos, just before lockdown actually. So he could push for that.
I did a 160. I did a 164 in a run at Britain's Strongest Man Under 80, but the height, I don't know what height it has to count to.
Well, I'll get Luke to recheck it again, because we thought it was 160 or 161 or something at the end of a run for somebody, but he's checked it.
The box height we did was that the stone height was nothing. I loaded it to. It was like waist height.
Right. So. Okay. Well, I'll get Luke to look into it again and check it, because obviously we want it to be legit, and but yeah, ideally you get the idea that we're going to go.
Yeah, it's cool.
The opportunity to go for deadlift world record, opportunity to go for dumbbell world record, which again we need to check.
Because this is the thing with the under 80 classes in the UK. Like, there's never been opportunities to break these records that are set in the US, because nobody puts them in the comp. So this will be absolutely brilliant. I think it's gonna be good.
Yeah, so that's what we want to do to attract the elite guys. They're obviously giving them prize money, so the guys are going to be motivated to actually cut weight. So we attract the best guys who are going to cut weight and go for these records. Like people like, say, Flash, for instance. Like would he be as interested in this comp if
Flash?
Yeah, if there wasn't an opportunity to go for a dumbbell record and there wasn't an opportunity to go to get prize money.
Yeah, well, as soon as I mentioned it, he's like, "Fuck, I want to do it," but obviously we know he's a bit knackered at the moment. But we're hoping that he can get healed up and
that's it. And then there's people like, say, Andy Smiles, for instance, who's recently hit 100 kilo dumbbell, which he's competed under 80 before. He's he was 95 kilos the other day, the fat cunt. as well.
Who's that?
Andy Smiles.
He's 95 kilo. He cuts he cuts a lot, doesn't he? Yeah.
But that's a prime example. Like would he be motivated? Would someone like him be motivated to cut 15 kilos to have a go at this record if there wasn't, or to come for this comp if there wasn't opportunity to go for a record or whatever? There's people like, say, yeah, Tom Chivers, who's entered today. What did he finish? Top 8 at OSG Worlds last year. Like at first, when I messaged him about it, he didn't seem interested because he's a bit of a shoulder injury and stuff. And then I've like pestered him saying about the prize money and stuff like that, and say so and so's entered, blah 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 blah, and then he's got his entry in today, and just think it's great. There's Dean McVie. He was, I think maybe the first guy who entered. There's like say people like say the twins, for instance, Joe and Tim Daglish, who have got like a busy schedule, like the motivated training for the official Strongman Games. They want to do the BNSF pathway, England's under 90s and stuff. But all of a sudden, because there's this deadlift world record, there's opportunity prize money. For them, there's the opportunity to go against the top guys. Like they want to compete against Tom Chivers. They want to compete against Flash. They want to compete against Dean McVie. Like they want to go against these guys that have done well at the top level, who are the top athletes. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's absolutely brilliant for them, and they're going to prioritize that over like England under 90s and stuff like that. They're going to be like, well, why the fuck are we going to worry about BNSF when we can come and do this?
Yeah, I think it's going to be brilliant. I think it's going to go for the sport. I think it's going to be good to get 30 under 80 guys together in the same building, get them meeting each other and stuff, and you know what I mean. It creates some rivalries, create a bit of banter.
Yeah, well, that's it, and it's going to be great to promote it and stir up a little bit of competition between people and stuff. So for example, because I know he'll listen to this and he'll fucking hate this, but Tim messaged me last night saying start the peak in the double ply suit for the deadlift record, and he said, I could hit the world record every week for 13 weeks in training if you want me to. He said that's what he said to me on message last night. The cocky little prick. But yeah, so moving on from the elite guys. So a thing that was massive for me and Luke was to actually facilitate an opportunity where the more up and coming guys, or the newer guys to it, maybe they get the kind of guys that are training, they're all in with the strongman training, but they just haven't been doing it as long as these guys that are lifting heavy weights, if you will. But the kind of guys that are really strong and they're well into the training, but they're kind of having to do like kind of novice comps to for the weights to be
to kind of get the weights that they need.
Does that make sense? So what was really important for me and Luke was that we created the events in a way that we don't want to see anybody no rep. We want people. We don't want anybody's barrier to entry to be, it's just it's going to be a bit too heavy. We've gone with the lighter options on stuff that, like the stuff like max deadlift, for instance, and max dumbbell, that you could literally do 100 kilo deadlift or whatever. It's completely up to you. There's no kind of opening bar. And then the stuff like the bag throw, for instance, that's going to start dead light. The stone run or whatever, that's going to start light so people can do it. And then the stuff like, say, the overhead medley, like the axle and log, where we're going to go with, I think we said 110 or 105 for the axle, and that we've gone with the other option of 80 kilos. Because there's so many guys out there who are really, really good, where they're kind of still below that kind of like 100 kilo overhead kind of barrier, if that makes sense. There's like a big cluster of guys that are confident with like 80 for reps, as an 80 athlete on their overheads, but they're not quite at that 100, 105, 110 range. And like for those guys to miss out on an opportunity, I think is just daft, because the elite guys can fight it out with the heavier option, which trumps all the any weight at any reps at the lighter option. But the other guys can like there's been like loads of guys that have entered that have opted for the lighter options on stuff, which I think is absolutely brilliant, because these guys are having the opportunity to not only fight it out against other people their level, but they're actually getting to compete directly against these elite guys that are like I've mentioned, people who are going for the world record, people who are already competing internationally and doing really well internationally. People like Flash, for instance, like what does he call himself? The under 80 goat, is he?
I can say that, but I've whooped his ass enough times.
But seriously, like there's people who can take some scalps in some events against some of these top guys. Like they might like he'll get to compete against some of the guys at maybe some of the moving events or some of the throwing and stuff like that, and actually think, you know what, I can take some points against these top guys. And I just think it'll be brilliant for future years and development, because it's like kind of bridging that gap between the more entry level and the elite level, rather than it being such a jump. Like hopefully there's going to be like maybe 15, 20 people who are, still a little bit significantly behind these top guys, but all of these guys should be finishing the comp thinking, fuck me, I was actually really close to him on this event. Next year I want to compete against him, and I want to be matching him on that event and be a little bit closer to him on.
The way you've done it just reminds me of the old school Olympic Dragons. I used to love it. I used to love Dragons comps, because you turn up and there'd be like 40 entries of under 90 guys, and there's always prize money, and Mark, who ran it, always had sponsorship and stuff, so you just felt like an athlete on the day. And there was like a good mix of events where people would, maybe they'd be doing the light option for most of the comp, but then like the Conan's walk or something, they'd be like really confident on, and they'd take loads of scalps on the Conan's walk, and
exactly
stuff, and everybody would be like, oh, I took your fucking scalp on this and that. And it was just and he came away, and then everybody who competed in it was having a bit of banter on Facebook for the whole year. And then it comes around again, and it got even bigger. And about like the fourth or fifth Dragons, it was like absolutely massive. I was gutted. Really
And also another thing that's massive for me, that we've talked about before, about getting into like kind of the weight class pathway versus like the novice inters opens pathway that we've talked about quite in depth. Like this cluster of, say for instance, these guys who are picking the lighter options, they're going for the 80 overhead instead of 110. They're going for the 200 frame instead of 240. Like these guys are going to get to compete against the top guys and kind of have a feel of what it's like to like basically get tips off these elite athletes that are smashing it internationally, versus going to a novice comp and getting beaten by a guy that's maybe 40 kilos heavier than them, who maybe thinks that they're a little bit more advanced than they are. Does that make any sense, Shane? I don't want to kind of offend anyone, but you know, but like this kind of I suppose like people who win a couple of novice comps, and it's very common out there. Like everybody listening to this probably knows somebody who's like done well at a few novice comps, and then they've got like a bit of a spring in the step, and they think they're maybe a little bit better than they are, and they're out giving like unsolicited advice to people that's maybe not quite as right, if you will. Whereas going to get, like, say these guys who are picking the lighter options, getting to compete against like Flash and Dean McVie and Tom Chivers. I know.
I can't wait for Dean McVie 2.0. He's gonna be an animal.
but every, like, all of these guys that I've mentioned, like, they're good because they've been dedicated to the game for fucking. They've done hours and hours of practice. They've been doing it. They've been training years. They've like. It's not a case of they've just done a couple of comps. Thought that, like, they're not good at it by chance. If you know what I mean. Like how long's like Flash been training to get to the level that he's lifting at, and if you follow how like Dean McVie trains, like, he's a fucking absolute animal. Like,
I think he's a savage, isn't he?
Yeah,
doing it for like 5 years. Like
absolutely unbelievable. And the attitude that a lot of these lads have that are at the top is actually it's all about graft, isn't it? And it's all about consistency. Like how long they've been doing it. Like none of these lads that finish at, say, the top 5 or whatever. Like, I don't know. I'm just I'm a massive fan. I just think I think the guys who are gonna be at the top, like, are the a kind of a similar ilk in terms of they haven't taken shortcuts to where they've got. It's like been years and years of. Do you know what I mean, Shane? I'm fucking waffling.
Yeah, but been a lot of doing the same shit over and over.
Yeah, and that's what the guys taking the lighter options. I want to be inspired by the more elite guys, is to actually see that any one of those guys can make it to the top level. They just need to keep at it and keep going and keep practicing. You know, like, because there's going to be like quite a few. But I suppose my point is, there's going to be quite a few of these guys that have maybe been doing it, maybe, I don't know, 6 months, a year, or whatever. They've been training seriously, and you can kind of get drawn into, oh, is this program? Which program should I do? Which piece of equipment? But which belt is better? All these kind of things where they're trying to get those, like trying to get the shortcuts and the answer. Whereas actually they'll learn from these other guys that actually it's just keeping going and practicing for ages and ages and ages, and just knuckling down and getting your head down and thinking, instead of thinking like a program, you're going to get great results in like 8 weeks and go and hit PBs on your main lifts. Like, what about 2 years? What about 5 years? What about where can you be in 10 years time if you just keep training as you are? Do you know what I mean? Anyway, I've fucking waffled on it. So just a little bit on the other sponsors. So we've said that Shane's giving 500 quid towards the comp, which is absolutely amazing. Alec Pagan, RP11. So give him his brand a follow on Instagram, RP11. And then Luke and I have just decided this morning for the records, he's putting $50 up per record. So we'll match all the record.
$50?
Yeah, so 50 quid or whatever. It's American.
Oh, I thought you said Luke.
No.
That's why I was like, where's Luke working in dollars?
So Alec has given us $100 towards the prize pot, merchandise for the top 3 on the podium, but $50 per record that's broken, like a record incentive as well for like the dumbbell, deadlift and stone. So Luke and I have said that we'll put 50 quid to that as well. So there'll be like basically 100 quid for each record. So we have shout out to Silverback. They've offered to do the t-shirts for us for the day. So they're sponsoring us with providing the t-shirts. So we're going to get a good banner up in both gyms for that. So we've also had sponsorship from Summer's Strength. So give him a follow on Instagram. He's a local to me. I train him, fabricator, who's making some like bespoke strongman equipment, and he just made Hixia Hercules hold that's quality actually. Designed it and made it in a week. It's like unbelievable. So give him a follow. Summer's Strength. So Tom came to me offered me money, and I said to him, oh, it'd be I think it'd be better if we could provide like a really good prize. So I was thinking what would be a good prize, because we want this to lead into Worlds, because we've got a qualifying spot secured from Lynn Morehouse, who organises the official Strongman Games. So he's given us a qualifying spot. So thanks to Lynn as well for supporting us. So in order to prep for the official Strongman Games, we thought it'd be awesome to have. We assume that people are going to have like logs and yoke and sandbags and stuff like that. So we thought what a great prize for the winner from Tom would be a loadable Husafell shield as one of the prizes for the winner. So that's another thing that's up for grabs. So you'll have a loadable Husafell to prep for Worlds, or you can flog it and get probably like nearly 200 quid for it maybe. So I think it's an absolutely brilliant prize from Tom. So also we've had, we thought, especially as we've had such an amazing response to it, like I thought quite a few people have messaged me about broadcasting it and doing a live stream. So we're going to do a live stream, and I thought what would be a great idea to have commentary. So someone who I thought would be great to provide commentary is Dale from 3D Strength. So a few of you guys will probably already listen to some of his chats that he does. So we're gonna have Dale working with Paul Smith on the commentary team, covering the event. So I've spoken to Dale about it, and everybody knows that Dale's a massive advocate of developing the sport and supporting the sport. He's competed at all the weight classes. He's competed internationally at under 80 himself. So obviously it's a class that's close to his heart. So he's going to help us out with some of that stuff. And what else have we got? So we've got Ben Joyce, who does the scoring at Giants. He's going to do the scoring for us. So less likely to have, more likely to run smoothly with somebody who's a professional.
I figured Bob was going to do the scoring, to be honest. The most accurate scoring system known to man.
So yeah, so the advantage with having Ben, who's going to do it, is going to have for people who can't access the live stream or whatever, they can track. He's going to have a live sheets on Google Sheets that people are going to be able to track the scores as they happen. So people will be able to track that live. And also he's going to be able to sort it out. So we do it like Worlds, like official Strongman Games World. So a few people have asked about this actually, so we're going to have work out the top 10 that go through to the final, if you will. And then the scores are going to be reset going into the final 4 events based on how the final 10 have done it against each other rather than against everybody else, if that makes sense. So yeah, the scores are going to be reset basically like they do like at official Strongman Games World.
Then you'll get like 1 to 10 points, will you, in the next 4 events?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right. So you can't make a gap from day 1 till 2. Well, AM to PM, but you know what I mean.
Depending on how you.
What I mean is, like, if you were 10 points in the lead,
that could be shortened down, because the point advantage that you've got beating the lower guys, or the guys who didn't finish as high up as the top 10 guys, is going to be kind of less relevant.
Yeah, so will all scores go to 0, though, is what I mean?
No. It's not going to be like a new comp.
Right, okay, cool. So you'll still have.
Yeah. So it's still going to be relevant what you've done in the morning session.
Right, cool.
That makes sense, yeah. So I'll just have a quick run through of the event. So event 1, max deadlift, 3 attempts for each lifter, 4 attempts available if you're going for a record attempt. So we're going to have suits encouraged, hitching encouraged, no sumo, no tacky. Event 2, yoke and sandbag medley. So we're going to have yoke 15 meters, then run back to the sandbag, and then carry the sandbag and load it over the yoke. So weight options are going to have 280 yoke into 100 kilo sandbag as the heavier option, because we feel that this Worlds is 320 for 15 meters without the sandbag. So we feel that this will be a kind of a nice prep for Worlds, if you will, for the guys that are already qualified. Axle and log into the lighter option is going to be 240 yoke into 80 sandbag. So we think for the up and coming guys, we think a triple bodyweight yoke into bodyweight sandbag as like a speed event is suitable. Axle and log overhead for reps. So you do 1 rep on the axle, then 1 rep on the log, and back and forth as many reps as you can in 75 seconds. So the heavier option is going to be 110 axle and 110 log. So we feel that the 110 log will lead nicely into Worlds prep, where it's 115 log and press away at Worlds. And then the lighter option, 80 axle and 80 log. So we feel that bodyweight overhead for reps is like a decent marker for even guys doing like BNSF, for instance. It's often bodyweight there. And then frame carry 15 meters, event 4. So we're going to have 240 as the heavier option, so triple body weight, and then 200 kilo as the lighter option. So on this one, anytime with the heavier option beats the lighter option, but only if the heavier option is finished. So we're kind of, Luke wanted to do away with people like just picking it up, stumbling a couple of steps and beating the guys that have done really well with the 200 frame, if that makes sense. So yeah, we want that to be quite heavy, but more of a speed event, because we're going to focus more on the grip in the afternoon session and stuff. So the top 8 move into the final at venue 2 in the afternoon/evening, which, because we've had such an amazing, staggering response, really. So there's quite a few people who said, "Well, oh, you won't get the numbers. You won't get 10 people entering. It won't be viable." So 2 fingers up to the people who said that. So we're going to extend that to 10. So top 10 will go through, and then event 5, max dumbbell, rising bar, jumping 10 kilo until only a few left, and we can take smaller jumps. They can skip lifts if they want. So we don't want people no repping this. So if people want to start at 40, 45, 50, whatever they can do, we'll just decide it based on who's going to be there. But I'm thinking maybe like 50, 60, 70, 80.
That'd be a good event, that, wouldn't it? Because you'd imagine the top 8 guys will be good dumbbellers. A lot of under 80 lads are good dumbbellers, so that'll be a good one to watch.
Yeah, well, that's it. So ideally, we'll have.
Might have to get the 7.5 kilo hex dumbbells out for Tim and Joe, but
yeah, Tim managed 80 recently.
I know. I just like rinsing him. Just because I know he listens.
But yeah, that'll be awesome to see if Andy Smiles makes weight. It'll be great to see him fucking have a go at a record. It'll be awesome seeing Flash, because it's going to be on that dumbbell where he did his, what did he do? 100 kilos, was it? Or 101 on my dumbbell?
I think he did 105, didn't he?
105, was it?
Pretty sure he beat me.
Well, yeah, fucking awesome. Anyway, so he's got a good opportunity to make that record official. Oh yeah, and event 1 as well. We've got like with the.
Why is it to win a record then?
I'm not sure. We haven't checked yet, but I'm sure it's less than 95.
I was going to say surely it's not 100 plus, but it might be. But I don't know.
No, I'm sure it's less than 95. But we'll. So talking about the other record, the max deadlift in the morning. So we plan to have at least Tim and Joe attempting that. Ideally, we're trying to get Tom Mannion to come over, and even if he just does the deadlift event and doesn't do the rest of the show, we want him to have a go at that. And ideally, I'm trying to coax Mark Burke into dropping weight and doing it, because it'd just be absolutely brilliant seeing so many guys go for it. And there's another guy, Colin Kelly, who I train, who's that's one of his big goals is to attempt the deadlift record before it gets too crazy. And he's doing really well. Hit a good 270 for 5 last week. So we think he's really close to that 320 range now, 320, 325. So that'll be good.
What's crap weighing, Josh? Is it same day weighing?
No, the 24-hour weigh-in available.
Okay.
And then, so event 6 after dumbbell, we've got sandbag throw. So we're going to go 9, 11, 13, 16, 18, 20 to be the same as world weights. But we're going to do it over, we plan to do it over 13 foot instead of 15 foot, or 4 meters instead of 4.6 meters. So again, everybody, nobody is going to know rep the 9 and 11 and 13 100%. And then it'll be a good test to see how efficient the top guys are with loading the 6 bags. And then event 7, we're going to have car deadlift hold. So it's going to be side handle apparatus on the car deadlift frame that I have. Ideally, we'll have something, I'll sort something fancy for it, like some kind of nice car or something, or we'll think of something that looks cool. That's a spectacle anyway. I'm just going to go max hold for time on that. So people need to be taking the grip training seriously if they want to do well. And then we're going to have, originally, when we didn't anticipate the response. Oh no, I'm talking shit. Event 8, Atlas Stones. So the original plan was 90, 110, 130, 140 to 52 inch to the platform that I have at the gym, the one that I've been loading to recently, Shane, because on this one, you can kind of, part of the skill is getting you can do it yourself. You don't need someone to mark you. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah. It's
down to you. If you're erratic with the stone, you can't expect somebody else to get you out of jail. You've got to be accurate with it. So it's good loading platform for that, into a 160 to 44 inch. But we're gonna change that ideally to, we're going to change that to dangle the carrot for the opportunity of a record, of the record that we've discussed. But we have talked this morning about maybe doing just last man standing, max stone, finishing on that, the opportunity for the world record. But anyway, it gives you a good idea. So have you got any questions on the day, Shane, or have you got, like, as a top under 80 competitor yourself, Like, have you got anything that you'd like to see from an athlete's perspective? What's really important for you as an athlete? If you decided, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna make weight for this and go and smash dumbbell record, deadlift record, stone record. Like, what would you like? What would be important to you as an athlete?
I would like to make sure that the weigh-in was set and the time was all there as kind of early as possible. And the thing with the under 80 comps is a lot of guys, I'd say most guys, are going to be cutting for it. Like with the under 90 class, you can get a lot around 92, 93 that just do a little mini cut, but 80 kilo guys, from my experience, tend to sit at like 88, 87. So it's like 10% ish cut. So the weigh-in to me for under 80 comp is really important to know when it is out far in advance so that you can plan for it instead of saying like, oh, I'll tell you weigh-in times, on the week or something.
Yeah.
Better to know straight away. Also, I would like to make sure that the scale that people are weighing in on is fair and accurate. A couple of times I've done under 80 comps, like the Arnold's, where it's on carpet, and I've fucking cut to 80 kilo dead and then weighing at 76.5, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then you see some other guy weigh 80 bang on, and you're like, hang on.
Yeah. Well, you know how anal I am with shit like that. I've got some calibrated scales. Actually, I might pay to get to renew the calibration certificate, but they're absolutely fucking brilliant.
Yeah, so the weigh-in to me is the big thing because that's the thing I see getting fiddled a bit. And then after that, mate, to be honest, that's when it just becomes, you've done the hard job now making weight, and it just becomes fun. So once the comp starts, I ain't too fussed really, personally.
So what about what about going for records and stuff? What about like your experience going for the, like, say, the log record before that you didn't enjoy? Like, how could have that been better? Like, what can we avoid? Knowing that we're going to have like 30 plus people there on the day, like we're putting max deadlift first because we want to see we want everybody to do as well as they possibly can. What do you think that we could do to avoid like pit?
So, for example, on the max deadlift, the way are you doing rising bar?
We're going to do 3 nominated lifts, like powerlifting style.
Yeah, because I was going to say I would probably avoid 3 nominated lifts because if there's 30 people in it, I do my first lift and then bang, we go straight back down to number 1 again, and then you've got to wait. How long does it take for 30 guys to pull a dead in a suit? It'll turn into SFN for me when I did SFN, where it was like 45 minutes between lifts, and it just cocked up the second and third lift. Luke will know that as well because Luke was at the same comp as me doing max dead then. Yeah. So if it was me, I would prefer rising bar so that once it got to 280, 290, 80% of them guys are going to be out. You can do your opener at 300 or whatever, and then realistically, there's only going to be a couple of guys left, so you can almost chip the rest times away to the perfect time for the athlete. And then the guys that are going 300 plus can, go within themselves and just go up and then finish the event instead of going up to 300, right, back down to 180, and then you've got to wait for 30.
But what I was thinking of doing with the 3 nominated lifts is maybe having like, say, 3 flights or 3 groups of 10, 11 or whatever, and then like cluster them.
Also, like 3 separate bars.
Yeah, but basically, I've like, say, the flight 1, it might be people opening with like, say, 160 to 220 or whatever, and then the second flight might be the 220 to 260 guys, and then it might be the third flight will be like going from like 260 to 330, and then or 260 to 300, then back down, and then building back up again. Do you know what I mean? So
that'd work. It's just like I say, it would just be mainly that amount of guys. some people like the rest time, and that's the thing with it. It plays into.
Cool. Well, that's something that we'll really think about and get it down, because we definitely want to avoid that. We had it a little bit when we did the Christmas comp at mine, where you lifted, didn't you? And and it just took too long in between. And was it like you or Rob? It was too long between benches or whatever, because we were.
Oh, it was Rob, yeah.
And we want to sort it out so we avoid stuff like that, don't we? Definitely.
Yeah, it's just for me, it's not so bad on like the dead. Well, I don't like it on the dead, but I don't like it on anything. But like the dumbbell, for example, take a bit too. That's going to be different in it, because there's only going to be 10 guys actually. But you see what I mean? It's like certain things you take too long, you then clean it, and you're like, oh shit, you've lost your kind of neural excitement, and it just feels heavy, and you're not able to showcase what you've actually got.
Yeah, cool.
But that would be it, really. That's my only issue. Like when I went to, and also I would say to make people aware of the plates and bar that they're going to use. Another thing, because again, I trained for that deadlift record at the last under 80 comp, and I know it shouldn't make too much difference, but I'd never lifted on 50 kilo plates before, and they feel different. And
100%.
They put 250s on each side for like 220, I think it made. And I remember pulling 220, and I was like, fucking hell. I was like, that doesn't feel right. Whereas if I knew it was 50s, I'd have probably gone out of my way to...
stuff like that, we know, like, as like competitive athletes ourselves, like, we know fucking how important shit like that is. So, like, say, we'll get up and we'll publish as soon as possible the exact setup that we're going to use, the exact plates. I imagine it'll be... at Luke's, it'll be a Texas deadlift bar, pretty sure, that we'll use like a red, maybe a red bumper plate, and then use the steel competition plates outside of that for the deadlift. But we'll publish stuff like that. Stuff like on the dumbbell, people have asked me already. It's going to be a 13-inch Rebel Strength dumbbell that you may have seen me lifting with on Instagram. You may have seen Shane.
That's all. I mean, what people want, don't you? People just want
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And also as well, like, I want people to be comfortable that, fuck me, we don't want to trip you up. We don't want to on the day. We want the you to do the, especially with where the records are concerned. Like we want to facilitate. We want to look good. We want to say that our compers has attracted people that have gone for these records and set new legit records. Like, so stuff like the dumbbell, people have asked, the Rebel Strength 13-inch one. Like Shane, you've done 105 in it, haven't you?
Yeah.
I've done 92. Flash has done 100, 105. Like it's great. It's really good.
Yeah, it's a good dumbbell.
It's really good. And also as well, the people from across the UK, like, you'll be able to source a gym, strongman gym relatively close to you that'll have one of these. They're as common as any other dumbbell, to be honest. But basically, you're not going to turn up on the day and we're going to switch stuff out. It's probably going to be a Spartan Atlas stone. So for the guys who are contemplating the stone record, so it's going to be sealed. It's not going to be dusty. It's going to have a bit of residual tacky already on there. The stones at my gym feel fucking amazing. They feel really good. Almost too good. Like, I go to other gyms or other comps and I'm shit at Atlas stones. No. But like the setup's good. You're not going to come away and think, oh fucking hell, it was dusty or it's dirty. They haven't been used for ages or whatever. They're getting used like a few times a week. They're brilliant. And we'll just communicate with people, and we'll publish this these kind of questions that you're going to ask as athletes, and just make sure everybody feels good and knows where they stand. Have you got any other obvious questions about the thing, Shane?
No, I think it sounds class. Shame I'm fat.
Well, you're not as fat as Andy Smiles.
Oh yeah, actually, I'm not actually.
Right, mate. We'll call it a day there. So thanks very much, and massive thanks to Shane for his showing that he's kind of putting his money where his mouth is. Literally, like we spout all the time about how committed we are to developing the sport at all levels. Blah 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 blah. All this shit that's easy to say, but we're backing it up. Same with Luke. Me and Luke are putting a lot of time into this. We're not bothered about making any money. We're happy to run it at a loss. Shane's putting 500 quid in out of his.
I just wanted to make it something to like get people, because when I did under 80s, I feel like I got a bit of taste in my mouth towards under 80s, because I believe that I was the strongest under 80 kilo guy in the world for about 4 or 5 years, and I weighed like 82 kilo, but I couldn't showcase it. There was never a comp. Every time there was a comp, it was like lightweights aimed at everybody else, not me, which is fair enough. But I just felt like I wasted the years I had at that weight class not doing cool shit that I could have gone down for. As like some of the shit I did should have gone down for records for years, but it's not just gym lifts now. So if I can help, get the sport moving so that the people that are in that situation in the future have somewhere to showcase their abilities, then I think that's what I want to do, because that's all it needs really, is just couple of people like you, me, Luke, to just give it a bit of attention, a bit TLC, and it'll take off. Like, you've already got 32 guys. That's probably the biggest under 80 comp that's ever ran in the country already for sign-ups.
Well, that's it. We want to run the biggest, most prestigious, quality weight class show that's ever been in the UK. Like for any weight class, that's the goal.
Yeah, and I think it's already the success. It's already good. Everyone's talking about it. I'm getting messages. I got messages before about a deadlift suit and stuff, and what's best to get for the comp and things. So, people are paying attention and interested. So it's great.
So also as well, I reiterate we're going to close the entry today, because I don't want to be checking my phone every single fucking day looking for entry. So if people know any 80 guys out there, but I'm going to put this on Instagram, like share it or whatever, so you can print screen it, tag a mate who's an 80, or just share it to your Insta story or whatever, if you think there could be somebody that's missing out because they haven't heard about this opportunity. So remember, like, I've had a couple of people who were thinking, oh, I'm umming and ahhing, I don't know whether to do it. If you're in that 50-50 ground, definitely fucking do it. Because don't just think about yourself, think about what you're doing for the sport. Like, for every entry fee, that if you roll the dice and throw an entry fee in and go and give it a go, even if you finish you think you're not going to do great on the events, you are directly feeding back into the sport. You're putting 20 quid into the prize pot that is going to feed these elite athletes, and those elite athletes are, in turn, are going to help you guys get better over the course of time. So we're all helping each other here. So pest your mates to get in touch, and even if you don't know anybody, just share it to your feed, share it on Facebook or whatever, and let's make this the biggest weight class strongman show the UK has ever seen.
Oh, mic drop.